Good evening, folks. I'm in Edinburgh this evening. I'm on the Royal Mile, and I'm here to show you the devastation that the coronavirus has caused here in Edinburgh. I was on Princess Street the other day there, and now I'm on the Royal Mile, which is normally a hustling, bustling street, one of the busiest streets in Edinburgh. And as you can see, it's absolutely deserted. Down here, nobody. Up here, nobody. You will never ever see this again, I don't think, not unless somebody drops a nuclear bomb. This street is one of the busiest streets in Edinburgh, and there's always somebody walking around. Anyway, let's get on. I'm going to show you up this street. You see how empty it is? This is the Royal Mile in Edinburgh. Ghost town. Not a soul to be seen. And this devastating coronavirus has caused all this. However, it's necessary. It is necessary. We need to isolate. The experts are all telling us that the isolation's actually helping. You know, the people that are staying at home on the quarantine, this is helping. So let's continue, folks. Let's continue and persevere with the instructions that we're given. All right, let's take a walk up here and I'll let you see some of these shops, empty shops I should say. And I see at any time of the day, even in the evening, in the late evening, this place is vibrant. It's hustle and bustle. And as you can see, all the shops are closed. We've all got the same signs advising the customers that they are remaining closed until the quarantine has been lifted, till we get notification from the government that we've got the all clear. I don't know how long it's going to last. Some people say 14 days, some people say 3 weeks. We'll just have to see. We're in the lap of the gods here. We'll just have to see what the government says to, as notifications to let us know what's going on. In the meantime, we've got to batten down the hatches and remain as positive as possible and stick to the rules. It's very, very strange when you see this quietness, and when you think of all the months in the year that you can hardly get moving in this street, especially when the Edinburgh Festival is on. But it's not just us here in Edinburgh, it's all over the world. All over the world. I don't think there's any country in the world that hasn't been affected with this coronavirus. Everybody's having a taste of it, so to speak. Again, not a soul. I'm the only person here just walking about, apart from maybe a couple of people jogging and one or two of the people getting exercise or going out for the essentials. It's all the courts over here. council offices here, our council establishments dealing with affairs of the council. But the NHS is making ready. They've already earmarked some establishments for hospitalising people in the event that they get a mass influx of patients to get called into hospital. They're preparing themselves, and I think the team that we have with NHS, I think they'll do their job well. And of course with all the workers that are involved, I've already mentioned that on the last video. So a big thank you to the NHS, a big thank you to the helpers for working hard to try and get us through, try and keep the ship floating, so to speak, try and get us through this terrible time. Again, show you around. Deserted. Not a soul. Castle up this end. We'll try and get as far up as we possibly can to let you see up there. St Giles Cathedral. Again, it would be very, very busy taking people in. And this is St Giles Cathedral here. Not a soul. Not a soul. St Giles Cathedral. Now I'll take a walk up. I would say we're in the middle of the Royal Mile now. Just a chance in a lifetime to let you see the desertion of the place. The place is absolutely deserted. You'd never imagine a little bug like the coronavirus would cause all this. I mean, it's it's a thing that we have to take seriously, very seriously. When you see all the fatalities and all the problems and trouble that it's causing. Again, facing down the mile, There it is there. Not a soul. Nobody. High Court of Judiciary. This is it here. I wonder if they are operating. They may have to stay open because of the, I suppose that justice has to continue, you know. Hume's monument here. When the tourists walk by Hume, they usually rub his toe. His big toe, that's it there, see? They usually give it a rub. I think it's something to do with bringing them luck. Same as the Greyfriars Bobby down there, see it? And give it a rub for luck. Same as Greyfriars, they give that a rub down there. Poor dog's hardly got any feet left. Well, it's all part of tourism, isn't it? Trying to keep the tourists happy. They will come back as soon as we get this cleared up. Famous Deacon Brodie's Tavern we're coming to now. I'm giving you a good chance here. I get a good chance here to show you some of these famous drinking houses, drinking establishments. This is the Deacon Brodie up here. And you know the story about Deacon Brodie. If you don't, if you go into your YouTubes or Google, they'll tell you about Deacon Brodie. I will probably make a journey reference to Deacon Brodie and the history of them at some point. But tonight we're concentrating on showing you the Royal Mile in Desertion. Yeah, that's the Deacon Brodie. Let's see if I can get back to let you see the plaque. That's the plaque there. Coming up the corner now. This is Lawn Market we're on now. And there's the front view of the pub. There's the plaque. The light's restricting it a bit, but that's it there. And that's Deacon Brodie's Tavern. Very popular drinking establishment. Locals and tourists both frequent the Deacon Brodie's. And then you'll get a lot of these mill shops selling the scarves and kilts and what have you. That's one of the courts, Wardrobe's Court. Again, that's for another day. We'll make a journey and I'll show you all the courts and all the closes and what have you. And that'll be on another journey. Now, I'll get to the middle of this road and let you see. Look at this. This is history, this. Look at this. Not a soul. You see that? That's the Royal Mile. I don't even think there was a mouse going around. Never mind people. No animals, no people. But in the summertime, especially at Edinburgh Festival, it's great to come up to the Royal Mile and see all the different acts and people taking part in plays and what have you. Entertainers, actors, musicians. Fantastic place to come for that type of entertainment, you know, especially when the Edinburgh Festival is on. Which is approximately roughly about August time, you know, August, September time. Now we're coming right at the corner here. This is coming, approaching Castle Hill on the Royal Mile. And that is the road to the castle, there. Castle Hill. Now, and one of my clips, I've got an opportunity now to let you see this. I talked about the Ensign Ewart, the cavalryman that was in the Scots Greys. Remember, we went up to see his monument on the Edinburgh Castle Esplanade, and I mentioned that there was a pub named after him. Well, here we are, folks. An opportunity to let you see it. This is the Ensign Ewart pub. There is a van here, a works van, fixing the street, but we can still see the pub. And there it is, folks. That's the Ensign Ewart. Okay. A lot of locals use it as well as tourists, and it's named after the famous cavalryman. Remember, he captured the French pennant at the Battle of Waterloo, and that was his claim to fame. Ensign Ewart. I'm glad we've managed to show you it. And they serve food as well all day. You see? The Ensign Ewart. Food served all day. Cask ales, malt whiskies. Now there's the road to the castle. This is the route to the castle here. You see it? Up there. We'll probably take a walk up as far as we can go. Again, everybody's closed. And this Royal Mile, Castle Hill. Now, walking up to Castle Hill now. Again, nothing down there apart from that works fan. Dead. But there is talk of a vaccine for this coronavirus. Some of the experts are saying at summertime it should be ready, and other experts are saying it should be maybe quicker than the summertime. So just have to keep our fingers crossed. They're trying different other medications. It's even been mentioned that the drug for malaria is being tried, and different other types of things, you know. But I suppose when your back's against the wall like this, you've got to try every avenue that's open, or try everything that could have a possibility of being able to shift this virus. There was an article in the newspapers reference to an English teacher, and he was working out there where the disease derived from, in China, and he reckoned that whiskey and honey hot toddy did it for him. He had a bottle of whiskey with him, and he took a shot of whiskey with honey in hot water. It's called a hot toddy here in Scotland, and he reckoned that shifted it. Well, whether it was that shifted it or not, we don't know the absolute truth, but it did it for him anyway. So much to say that I've got a good stock of whiskey in as well, just in case. A few bottles. It's my favourite tipple anyway. It's either that or he got himself so drunk he didn't realise that he was ill. And this is the famous Scotch whisky experience, folks. You have every kind of whisky under the sun here. Every kind of whisky. The Scottish whisky experience. You'll get many people, especially your whisky connoisseurs and fans of the tipple, going in there to sample and purchase. As I say, they've got a wide variety, big choice. Now, looking down, empty. That moving mill over there. Another popular shopping destination for the tourist especially. And this is the Contini Cannonball Restaurant and Bar in here. Again, a popular place for people to eat. And their award-winning Scottish seafood. So if you like seafood, that's the place to go. Quite partial to squid rings now and again, but I like them with the chips. Plenty of brown sauce. Looks very appetising. Look at this. Look at that. Yeah. See that? There's something about photographs of food. I mean, it's an art, you know. The photographers specialise in taking photographs of plates of food. You know, something about it. If you get a good plate of food, it makes you feel, you know, it's a good advertising. A good advertising thing. Makes you want to eat. Makes you want to go into the restaurant and eat something. You know, good thing. Now folks, here we are, coming up towards the castle. You're getting a view of the castle in the evening. Time is coming up for 8 o'clock. A view of the castle in the evening. Here we go. May as well walk up and let you see the castle at night, in the evening, with all the display lights on. It's still a striking sight. And we'll go up further, but I'm only letting you see it from this distance. The famous Edinburgh Castle. And as I say, when the tattoo comes along, the Edinburgh military tattoo, this is where they perform here on the Esplanade. The audience would be over here. There'd be stands built over here, and there'd be stands built at the other side, at this side. You see? And then all your entertainers, especially the pipes and drums, very famous pipes and drums, and all the other acts and entertainers, some very, very good brass instrumentalists as well, brass bands, military bands. Nowadays, I mean, I know it's called the Edinburgh military tattoo, but nowadays, you can see a lot of acts, a lot of performers that are not in the military. But I think it makes it much more interesting to see all these different acts and different musicians and different performers. It makes it interesting, you know, with a mix of military in between. Coming up to the castle. There we are. There they are, folks. Right up to the castle gate. That's the entrance there. This is a memorial to Wallace. Memorial to Wallace, erected by the Corporation of Edinburgh under Captain Hugh Reid's bequest. Unveiled 28th of May 1929. The Right Honourable Sir Alexander Stevenson, Lord Provost. That's who opened it. I'll let you have a look at it, closer look. Okay. I'm right up here at the gate. Get a good look at these gates now. Craftsmanship. You see that? But it's a lovely evening. There's hardly any wind at all. The rain's holding off. We had a bit of a spit there this afternoon, but nothing to get the umbrella out for. It wasn't conditions for the umbrella. But I know it's not easy, folks, getting back to the isolation, the quarantine. I know it's not easy being quarantined, but it's a thing that we all have to do. It's a thing that we all have to put up with. And as I said, it's helping. It is helping. So it's a situation that's getting a result, according to the experts. So we've just got to keep going until we hear from the government to let us know when the quarantine will be lifted. So there we are, folks. Edinburgh in the evening as well. Look at that. Castle behind me. I know we've seen this before, but the thing is, at night and the evening, it's a different sort of spectacle. That's why I'm coming over to let you see again when all the lights are on. You see that? And you see this road down here, look at this. See that road? Not a soul. Empty. Another look down here. So, there we are, folks. Not a soul. See the roads? Well, folks, that was an insight to the Royal Mile, right up to the castle. Let you see what a devastation this coronavirus is causing. And as I say, let's hope that we can get some sort of vaccine or some sort of medication or medical to try and clear all this devastating illness, devastating disease. And let's hope that we can get back to normal. Get everybody moving again, because that's what's needed. Everybody needs to be moving. Anyway, folks, Royal Mile, Edinburgh Castle, is signing off now until we see you on the next journey. Bye for now.